Come on up the hill to the Cradle of Forestry. We got a real nice place here amongst the trees. History, nature, science, what more do you need? Forest-inspired nature discovery.
Hey Stephanie, what do you think they did for fun during the time of the Biltmore Forest School?
You mean back in the late 1800s?
1898 to be exact.
Well, they played checkers. Want to play another round?
I do not want to play another round of checkers. I have lost plenty today, thank you. What else you got?
They also gathered around to hear stories.
That's a lot of fun. What kind of stories?
They would tell stories to educate and inform, pass on values. Have you ever heard a bump in the night you couldn't explain?
Definitely.
They also told stories to explain those weird sounds and things that happened at night.
Do you know any stories like that?
I do. There's a story called the Wampus Cat that was told by European settlers about the Cherokee to explain the presence of mountain lions lurking in the woods at night.
Can you tell us the story?
I can. And you know, another way they would entertain was with music.
Oh, really? I just so happen to have my mandolin here.
How about you play some music while I tell the story of the Wampus Cat?
Okay.
Strange things happen in the mountains at night. Deep down in the valleys, mysterious noises echo through the darkness. Terrifying howls travel from hill to hill. Animals disappear from farmyards. The random things left out in the yard at night, like buckets, rakes, clothes hanging on the line, are knocked over or even destroyed. The people who live in the hills hide in their homes. Whenever anything unusual happens at night, whenever mysterious calls are heard, they say it's the Wampus Cat. The Wampus Cat was once a beautiful Cherokee woman. Her husband would often leave the village with the other men to go out hunting and to bring back food. And before each trip, the men would gather in the woods to ask for forgiveness of the lives of the animals they were about to take and to seek supernatural help in their task. But women were forbidden from ever seeing these sacred magics. But this woman's curiosity consumed her. She wanted to know the secret magics. She begged and begged her husband to share the magics with her, but he always refused. So one night, as the men set out into the forest, she took matters into her own hands. The woman wrapped herself in a cougar skin and quietly crept through the woods. She came upon the clearing in the forest where the men had gathered, and she hid behind a rock and watched, enthralled, finally seeing the secret magic she had so long desired to see. She crept closer and closer to the men in the circle, wanting to take in every detail. She crept closer and closer until she got too close. And the elder spotted her and saw immediately through her disguise. The men of the tribe grabbed her and dragged her into the forest. As punishment for breaking the taboo, the elder cast a spell on the woman. The cougar skin she had wrapped herself in became her own skin. She became a strange mix of cougar and human, and was cursed to forever live alone in the woods and to never again enjoy human company. And so the Wampus Cat roams the Appalachian mountains at night, traveling up and down the hills, in and out of valleys, forever wandering, ever alone. There are some who say that when she steals animals or ruins things on the farm, she's acting out her anger and resentment from being cut off from the rest of mankind. There are some who say that she will roam the mountains forever, lurking around the places where men live, but never able to rejoin them. And so whenever those strange cries are heard, At night, whenever something is disturbed in those little settlements in the hills, whenever an animal goes missing, the mountain people know who is to blame. The Wampus Cat is walking through again.
Wow, Stephanie, was that a real story?
It was real for the European settlers. It was a way for them to explain those things that went bump in the night. And back then, they were terrified of mountain lions. The local word for mountain lion was catamount.
Where does this wampus word come from?
It was the word catawampus, which meant strange or unusual.
So this is a story about a catawampus catamount.
Exactly. If you want to hear more stories, come up to the Cradle of Forestry and we can share them with you.
Or you can go to your local public library and ask for stories about folk tales, and they can help you out too.
We'll see you next time.